Hi everyone, welcome to my video on the top 10 card art for the Pokemon Trading Card Game base set. This is a series where I rank the best art across Pokemon cards for each set, and today we're focusing on the first Pokemon cards ever created, called the base set. There are three main styles of art in this set. First, we have the three-dimensional style, where the Pokemon look like what you'd expect to see in a Nintendo 64 game. Second, we have two-dimensional Pokemon on what I call the generic backgrounds, a static color that usually matches the type of the Pokemon and the border of the card. Third, we have the real world or active style, which has a two-dimensional Pokemon interacting with a realistic environment. I have a strong preference for the third style here, as I like to see the Pokemon interacting with the world as they do in the show, and I feel like it provides the opportunity for you to tell a story about what's happening with that Pokemon in that moment in time. But as you'll see in the ranking, I do feature cards across the three different styles, so let's go ahead and jump in with number 10. At number 10, we have Charmander. Right off the bat, we can appreciate this is one of the more popular cards in the base set. It's one of the three original starter Pokemon, and arguably the most popular one, so people have a real affinity for it. Here, Charmander is standing in an environment that you could actually imagine finding it in, and there's some awesome detail. You can imagine that he's just walking around, absentmindedly swinging his tail, and he's accidentally lit this patch of grass on fire. It looks like he's just turned around and realized what he's done, and he even looks a little bit surprised. What I like even more is the detail in the very back, where you can see the fire raging across the meadow. He clearly started those fires in the exact same manner and hasn't even realized it. I love this art because it's charming, and you can tell a story with it that helps bring it to life, and that's why I have Charmander coming in at number 10. At number 9, we have Venusaur. Here we have a completely different art style. Venusaur is big, he's a little more three-dimensional, and he's placed directly over this sparkling green holographic background. I love how the artist captures the size and heft of this Pokemon. Venusaur is supposed to be the size of a small car, and he really feels like it in this art. He takes up almost the entire frame, which is unique across art in this set, and you quickly get a sense of his bulk via the thickness in his legs, belly, and face. And because of his size, it gives the artist more room to focus on the little details, like the knobs on his legs, or how the bright, contrasting colors of the flower on his back stand out against the pale green frame. For this card, I most appreciate that the artist represents Venusaur's size in a way that feels authentic, and that's why I have this card at number 9. At number 8, we have Cadabra. What I love about this art is it takes a number of things I generally don't like in Pokemon art and actually makes them work. I'm usually not a fan of the generic backgrounds, and here we just have a plain black background with some red spots. I'm also usually not a fan of outlining the Pokemon in a hue that's the same color as their card, as it often makes them look like a sticker. But here, both of these design choices actually work really well. The black background is ominous, which fits really well with the psychic type, and the red spots add just enough color to make it interesting. The purple hue feels like he's emanating psychic energy, and if you close your eyes and imagine Cadabra infiltrating a dark corner of your mind, I think this is exactly what that would look like. For this card, I love the minimalist approach and how it looks so cool and sinister, so that's why I have Cadabra coming in at number 8. At number 7, we have Gyarados. The holographic background here actually brings something pretty cool to the table. With the swirls of blue and black, it kind of feels like Gyarados is deep underwater, and what I've always liked about this Pokemon is that he's super expressive. He always looks angry and vicious, and this card is no exception. The perspective here is a little strange, because in some ways it looks like he's swimming right at the metaphorical camera, given the size of his tail being smaller in the background, but he ends up just kind of looking off to the side. Regardless, Gyarados is another fan favorite Pokemon, and this card just ends up looking really cool, so I have Gyarados coming in at number 7. At number 6, we have Bulbasaur. This card immediately stands out as being charming. Bulbasaur is in a realistic environment and he's active. He kind of looks like a puppy that's just trying to be threatening, but it's not really working. I like that he's actually using the attack that's on his card, Leech Seed, in the art, which is a neat touch. We have a cool contrast of textures between the Pokemon and the different types of leaves and grasses around him, and the pinks of the flowers provide just the right amount of color contrast to make this card really pop. Again, people have a real affinity for Bulbasaur given his original starter status, and I love that he's well represented with some good art here at number 6. At number 5, we have Coughing. I absolutely love this card. As a kid, I don't remember it being particularly notable, but spending more time with it now, I've really come to appreciate it. This Coughing is having the time of his life. It looks like he's in a tunnel, as you can see with the brick above him, and he's having a blast spewing this green gas everywhere. His expression is really emotive, and that helps the card come to life. It also kind of looks like the light on his belly is a camera flash, and you can see how this light source illuminates the smoke and brick around him, which is really cool. The personality of this art is really unique, and that's why I have Coughing coming in at number 5. At number 4, we have Zapdos. The art here is sweet. Everything about this card feels angular and matches the feel of the Pokemon. The lightning streaks in the holographic background clearly show that he's using one of the moves listed on the card, and they look great. The choice to use a dark background really helps all the yellow on the card pop as well. This art captures the feel of those strange nights where there's not a cloud in the sky, yet you can still see lightning bolts crashing around in perfect detail. And that kind of ambiance that the artist creates is why I love this card and have it coming in at number 4. At number 3, we have Nidorino. This was the first card I really considered putting at number 1 overall, and is one of my favorites in the entire set. I love the environment behind him and the colors that were used. Take Nidorino out of the shot, and you have this deep, arid canyon where you're given just a hint of the sky. The use of purples to add ruts and texture to the red walls, I think, is really done as well. As for Nidorino himself, the artist makes a great choice to position him at eye level and put him in this confrontational stance. The use of shadows below him really places him in this scene in a way that feels real, and there's so much detail to this card, and it's in an environment that I think, can stand alone as interesting without the Pokemon even being there. So that's why I have this card coming in at number 3. At number 2, we have Dragonair. I'm really biased towards Pokemon art with great landscapes. If you take out the Dragonair here, this painting looks like something that Bob Ross himself might have done. It looks like, the northern lights, and the floating ice in the background helps to confirm that mental jump that your mind makes to take you there. The use of color is beautiful, from the sky to the reflections in the water, and this environment fits perfectly with this mystical dragon-type Pokemon. Lastly, I love that most of the Dragonair itself is actually hidden. As the card says, this Pokemon is 13 feet long, but most of the body is underwater and out of the frame, which frees up space for the artist to focus on the environment. This is one card I need to add back into my collection, and Dragonair is well deserving of the number 2 spot. At number 1, we have Charizard. You're probably not surprised to see Charizard show up here, as it's without a doubt the most famous Pokemon card that exists. This Pokemon is iconic, both in the Pokemon universe and in the trading card world, and it's iconic for a reason. While Charizard is massively popular, if the card didn't look fantastic, it wouldn't be on this list. This art fully delivers on the promise of a fire-breathing dragon. It's menacing, dangerous, and really cool. This was the strongest card in the base set in terms of HP and attack, and the art needed to accurately represent that. As you can see with the image on the right, this Charizard looks amazing with real light exposure. While the background doesn't include, real world aspects, it does feel like Charizard is breathing out so much fire that it makes sense that everything is orange and yellow around him. The black streaks offer great contrast to add the final touch to help elevate this card to the number 1 art in the set. That's it for today's video. If you disagree with my rankings or think there's some great art that I missed, please let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, as I'll be coming out with more like it on a regular basis. Have a good one, see you next time.